Eye creams are overpriced moisturizers, and if you have purchased more than 2 that don't seem to work, it's because you didn't do these tests first. This is how to tell whether or not you actually need an eye cream and what to look for. And I actually have a bonus money-saving hack so you don't have to spend any more money to get the skin that you are looking for. And I'm going to be sharing that a little bit later because man, I wish I knew about this first. But first, let's talk about the 3 tests that you can do to figure out what's going on with your eyes, why eye creams aren't working, and if you want to use one, which I'm not necessarily recommending you do, what you need to know in order to actually get it right. We're talking about the pinch test, we're talking about the bed test, and then we're talking about the spread test. We're not talking about spreading butter on a toast or what else do you spread on? Jam, avocado, guacamole. Ooh, I love guacamole. Anyways, we're gonna do the spread test too. I just realized that could mean something very different, never mind. Give me 1 margarita. I'm just kidding, I don't drink.
Buy her 1 margarita, she will spread her legs.
Let's start off with the pinch test, and you need to know what it's looking for, specifically pigmentation. Remember that the reason eye creams are so difficult to use and find the right one is because our eyes have different problems. One of them can be pigmentation, or the purpleness in the under eye area or around the eye. The second is puffiness, which is very different than purple color. And then the third is wrinkles, the actual fine lines and wrinkles that happen around the eye area. And if you can imagine these 3 very different things, they have 3 very different causes, and yes, they need 3 very different treatments. If you have purpleness around the under eyes, is it pigmentation? Is it your skin's natural melanin production? Or is it just thin skin and circulation causing your under eye area to look purple? When it comes to puffiness, is it because your face is retaining fluid? Is it because you've been crying or have allergies? Hopefully you have allergies and you're not crying every day. I love you, giving you all the kisses, all the hugs. Or is the puffiness caused by our natural anatomy, fat pads? Yes, we have fat pads underneath our eyes that are super important. And some people mistakenly think that these are under eye bags, when this is just really the little adipose tissue that is living there in their little happy under eye sacs naturally. Just like baggage, you know, just that's where they live. Or is the issue fine lines and wrinkles? You know, the crow's feet, the fine lines, which a lot of people think is just from getting older. It could be from sun damage and getting older, but it could also just be dehydration. And we're gonna talk about all of that. But we are gonna start with the pinch test. And remember, the pinch test looks for pigmentation. If your concern is darkness in the under eye areas, this test is gonna help you figure out why it might be happening and what you need to use. You take your fingers, make sure that you don't have stabby acrylics or anything sharp, and you lightly pinch the little under eye area. When you pinch this, it's very similar to the other pinch tests that you do on the skin, looking for what's called turgor. Only when you let this go, you want to look at the color. Does the color automatically disappear and then it kind of slowly comes back? If so, that means the pigmentation is probably due to circulation. The blood, when you pinch this area, is leaving the skin and then it starts to flow back once you release it. Now, if you pinch your skin right here and it still stays colored while it's being pinched and immediately when you let go, that's probably because of pigmentation. The melanocytes in your skin, those special cells that are responsible for creating skin pigmentation and color, maybe they're overactive, maybe they were triggered unevenly. But either way, there's a darkness to this area that doesn't go away when you pinch the skin or even if you look at your skin in different lighting. Now, if it is because of circulation or thin skin, you want to look for ingredients such as caffeine or retinoids. Caffeine can help with the circulation in this area, can really help to move fluid through and kind of get rid of some of that unevenness or that under eye purple darkness. Now also, retinoids are fantastic for this because retinoids can help thicken the skin, literally building more collagen and elastin in the under eye area. You want to use an eye-safe retinoid, but if you look for an eye cream or a moisturizer that has these ingredients, you can use them right here. Now, if you're someone who actually has pigmentation, meaning when you pinch it, that color doesn't go away, that's when you want to look for the other ingredients that will actually help to calm down the overactive melanocytes. Remember, the melanocytes are those little cells that cause this to happen. Those are going to be your things like vitamin C, even things like licorice, even tranexamic acid or alpha-arbutin. You can cycle through these and use different ones, but I would recommend trying to find an eye cream, facial moisturizer, or other products that have one of these ingredients, if not multiple ingredients from this list. These are what are called tyrosinase inhibitors. They basically stop your little melanocytes, those skin cells, from being able to produce pigment. These are going to be the most helpful. And as a bonus, retinoids can also be helpful. I would recommend pairing a retinoid with something like a vitamin C, maybe using the vitamin C in the morning and the retinoid in the evening. But that can be a really winning combination if you do have this darkness and this purpleness that doesn't go away in the under eye area. Now, let's talk about the bed test. Let's talk about the under eye bags, because a lot of people look at themselves in the mirror and they're like, oh my gosh, my under eye bags are so bad. Or they wake up in the morning and they're like, my under eye bags. Let me just say, I thought that I understood the struggle with under eye bags and then I became an emotional disaster. And as I have been an emotional wreck for the past 3 months, I have never experienced swollen, puffy eyes the way that I have recently. I am not a crier. Like, I do not cry regularly. I do feel very deeply and passionately about things, and I'm empathetic, but I usually don't find myself crying. Well, I have cried so much recently that my face, literally, my eyes get swollen. My eyelids, the top of my eyes, literally swell up and hold on to the tears and just like hold them like sponges. Holy shit, I thought I knew what it was like to have puffy under eyes. My eyes have redefined this. Well, let's talk about the bed test to find out what the heck is going on. So if you look at your skin in the mirror and you're like, under eye bags, well, that's not exactly accurate, because you see the way that the light could be hitting you, it could be making your under eyes look puffy when there's not actually puffiness there. Now, at other times you might be laying down, taking a selfie, and you look fantastic. There's no under eye bags. But the second you stand up, you're like, oh my gosh, my under eyes are so puffy. The bed test is what's going to help. Literally take out a mirror or take out your phone and turn on the camera and start taking a little video of your face looking at the camera or the mirror while you're standing up. Then lay down on a bed and hold the phone right above your face. Don't drop it on your face because that'll really hurt. As you have your phone or the mirror above your head, gravity is basically going to take your entire body, including your under eye area, and help pull it towards the center of the earth, because that's how gravity works, right? Nice, I love it. Now, if your under eye bags are just due to anatomy, they are just due to these little fat pockets, when you lay down, those bags should go away. However, if when you lay down, you still notice that there's kind of like a little ridge or a little divot in the under eye areas, where you still see noticeable puffiness and it still feels like there's a balloon under your eye, that's how you know that there's actual puffiness, actual fluid retention there. So if you lay down and they go away, that means you don't actually have puffy under eyes, it's just your anatomy. Whereas if you lay down and they're still there and they're still a little puffy or swollen, it could be because of allergies, it could be because you might be crying, or it could be that you have a lot of fluid retention in this area and need to do something about it. Now, what are the best things to look for with fluid retention? We don't actually want to focus on ingredients, we want to focus on pressure, mechanical pressure. This is why so many people have used DIYs like cold tea bags or cucumbers on their eyes. That is a physical or mechanical pressure pushing on the eye area. And you're literally pushing the fluid in those bags out of the face. Now, my favorite way to do this is with under eye patches, not under eye creams, but under eye patches. This is because these patches literally go on here like little fun stickers and they stick to your face, and then they literally act like an eyeball push-up bra and they push that fluid out of the way, basically helping your body to reabsorb it and get it out from this space right here, which causes us to look much more tired than we are, or causes us to look just as tired as we are, which we are trying desperately to disguise. Or sad. Use your favorite adjective there. Now, as a bonus, if you want to use under eye patches that have the right ingredients, you do want to look for ingredients that improve circulation. So again, that's going to be something like caffeine. Caffeine is a great choice. And if you have a lot of puffiness, even things like green tea or antioxidants can be really beneficial for right here. So if it's an under eye patch, even an eye cream or a moisturizer, that's what you want to look for. Now, baby, let's talk about the spread test. The spread test, which literally sounds like so many things that it is not. Let me just explain. When it comes to fine lines and wrinkles in the under eye area, it's totally normal to have them. Almost everyone has crow's feet when we make expressions or when we laugh. But for some people, they don't like that those fine lines and those wrinkles stick around. Now, if you're a skintellectual, and if this isn't your first video that you're watching from this channel, then you know that there are many things that cause wrinkles. Usually things like sun damage, collagen, and elastin that degrades over time. But only the select skintellectuals probably know that even dehydration can cause or worsen the look of fine lines and wrinkles. That's right, if your skin is dehydrated, if the outer layers of your skin are sucked up and dry and just crusty, they can actually show more texture and more fine lines and wrinkles and feel thinner, similar to a tissue paper, than skin that is hydrated and plumped. Now, hydrating the skin is not going to get rid of deep wrinkles. Of course, you're gonna need different things for that, and you need to stay out of the frickin' sun. However, a lot of people look around their eyes and they see those little fine lines, and they don't actually know if those are legitimate wrinkles, if those are creases from smiling, or if that is just dehydration. And that is where the spread test comes in. For the spread test, you can use a tool. You could use something like a gua sha or a spoon, or you could literally use your fingers. But what you need to do is make sure that your hands or your tool has a form of a hydrating moisturizer on it. Grab something that you already have that keeps your skin supple. Ingredients like ceramides, glycerin, any moisturizer, or even something with shea butter is a great choice. You want to make sure that this entire area is covered with it, or that your hands or your skincare tool has a bunch of this moisturizer or this hydrator on it. Then you literally want to do the spread test. Kind of squint, look at where the fine lines and wrinkles are, and literally spread. You literally just take your fingers and start massaging, or your tool or your spoon and start massaging. And you're basically spreading those wrinkles apart. Do this just until that moisturizer or that hydrator absorbs. And when you do, look back in the mirror. Does it look like those wrinkles and those fine lines have temporarily disappeared? If so, your skin was probably just dehydrated, looking and feeling like a sad little tissue paper. Whereas if those wrinkles are still there and they really fall back into place, that's probably damage to collagen and elastin deep within the skin. You probably need something a little bit more intense, and it's probably going to be a bit more difficult to treat. But if it just was that surface level hydration that your skin was missing, the spread test can help you figure it out. So if you think that your under eyes have fine lines and wrinkles, maybe they were just dehydrated. Now, let's say that after the spread test, those wrinkles and fine lines are still there. What should you use to get rid of them? That's when you want to go to this list of ingredients. And of course, you may recognize this because a lot of these ingredients are similar to what we use on the entire face when we're trying to treat fine lines or wrinkles. We're specifically looking at retinoids. This is the gold standard in wrinkle care, and the reason why is because this frickin' works. There are so many different brands that sell retinoids, but there are some really good ones that are eye safe. And especially when using a retinoid in the eye area, you want to make sure that you're using an eye safe one. And if your skin is really tolerant, yes, you can even use your prescription tretinoin in the under eye area. You just want to make sure that you're easing into it and you're buffering it with something like Vaseline, or you're doing a retinoid sandwich. And if you don't know what that is, ooh, baby, we've got some other videos for you. Sandwiches. But if you also notice, there are other ingredients on this list. We're specifically looking at peptides. Remember that not all peptides are the same, but some of them can be really good for fine lines and wrinkles. Not the major ones, but especially when paired with a sunscreen during the day, they can help. And of course, if you want to prevent fine lines and wrinkles from getting worse, or if you just want to prevent them in general, sunscreen. Get a sunscreen that doesn't burn your under eye areas, because that's going to prevent those fine lines and wrinkles from happening in the first place. Now, if those fine lines and wrinkles are really set in, you may even want to consider something like filler. Even for many people who have these troughs underneath their eyes that make eye bags look worse, they might choose filler. Filler's not right for everyone, and you need to get it done by a professional. But if you're sick of wasting money on all the eye creams, you could go and do the professional stuff if that's something that is a fit for you. I personally don't have any under eye filler in my face. I personally wouldn't get it. I've seen a couple of horror stories. I would start with these ingredients first, but it is an option that people should be aware of. Now, let's say that you're like, okay, Cass, but I really want to save money. I don't want to buy a new eye cream that has this. I don't want to go and get injections. You told me about this money-saving hack. What am I supposed to do? Oh, baby, I got you something. Woo! Your thrifty acne big sis Cass doesn't want to spend more money than I have to either. And if you remember that eye creams are overpriced moisturizers, and many companies literally take their moisturizer formula and they literally package it into a smaller container and sell it as an eye cream, what the is the difference? Why am I paying 3 times the price for this one just because you put the words eye on it? That makes no sense. Babe, if you have a facial product, a moisturizer, a retinoid, something that you love that works for your face, you bet your bottom dollar you can use that right here. Now, of course, if your moisturizer has things like fragrances in it, or if it's not eye safe, don't go shoving this in your eyeballs. But if you put it in this area where the under eye bag is, where the purpleness is, or where those wrinkles are, this is a great way to use what you already have, what already works for you, don't spend a single penny more, and get the benefits for your specific eye condition or the specific need that you've got. Of course, if you're gonna put makeup on over this, or if you need a different texture, or if you need something super lightweight here, but super heavy and thick for the rest of your face, this might not be perfect for you. But literally, if you have something that works so well for the rest of your face and has the ingredient that correlates with fixing either the purpleness, the puffiness, or literally the fine lines and wrinkles, use that and put it here. And that way you're not spending a penny more and you are getting the most out of your skincare and you're actually treating the freaking eye concern that you have. Literally do this test. Have you pinched your eye underneath this video? Have you literally taken your phone and gone like this? If you haven't, go do it right now and tell me in a comment what happens, because there are so many people out there that are literally throwing money at the wrong stuff just because they don't know about these tests and they don't know how to figure out what's right for them. This is your cheat sheet. Text it to yourself, email it to yourself, and be a skintellectual. If you appreciate that I'm an esthetician that actually spills these industry secrets to help you save money, if that's not worth a subscribe, then bye-bye, sayonara, see you later. But if it is, would love to have you become a skintellectual and let you join the beautiful butterfly community. Either way, always remember to stay hydrated. That means both orally and topically. Yeah, the spread test. Don't forget to do it with some sort of hydrator. Always reapply that SPF, including around the eye area where most people forget, and be beautiful both inside and out. I love you, and I cannot wait to see you in this next video. Love you guys. Bye.